Hello student, let's study projectile motion. So it's very important to understand what is basically projectile motion. So sometimes you call this as motion in 2D. Motion in 2D. See here, if what is condition? If force is not in parallel direction to velocity. If your force is not in parallel direction to velocity, what happened? The path of particle and force will have some angle, which angle is between 0 degree to 180 degree, but theta is not 90 degree. 0 degree to 180 degree and theta is not 90 degree. What will be uses of it? Let us see. Here, if theta is not 0 degree, neither 180 degree and 90 degree also I have removed here. So, in these cases, what happened? The particle will have a constant force, and this leads to movement of particle in parabolic path. Parabolic path. So, if theta is 0 degree, theta is 180 degree, or theta is 90 degree, in these three cases, particle move in straight line. Other than this, if you take any other angle, their particle movement will be other than this. Movement of particle will be on parabolic path. Parabolic path. Now, if you see the general projectile, basically projectile motion. What is projectile? Projectile is the object. The object which is thrown. Whichever object you are going to throw, that is called projectile. Okay. Now, there are two types of projectiles. Let us keep this very simple. Projectile is of two types. What is that? Ground to ground projectile. And then on inclined plane. Okay. Now, ground to ground, this is on inclined plane. This comes under horizontal projectile. Horizontal projectile can be ground to ground, or it can be from height. From height. So first of all, we will see ground to ground projectile. In this, lot of terms has to be known. Then only you will be able to understand this topic. So you can copy this. Now look at ground to ground projectile. This is your x direction. This is your y direction. What is meaning of x direction? This is actually, it's look horizontal ground. Horizontal. And this is vertical. Vertical. Horizontal and vertical. You are standing here. From here you are going to project any object. Let us call you are projecting at theta angle. When you project, you give some speed. Let us take u. This we are calling initial speed. Okay, initial velocity. Now what happened? This projectile, once you throw, it is out of your reach. Once it is out of your reach, what happened? This will be completely under influence of gravity. Okay. So what happened? This is going to move on a path, and this path is called parabolic. Why it is parabolic? Because you might have learned this equation, no? Like y equal to 4x square type. here we get this kind of equation, and this is equation of parabola. Parabola. So very important, this question repeated time they are asking what is path of this projectile. So path of projectile is going to be parabolic. Okay, this is actually called mouth opening downward parabola. If you have any well-known, then this equation will be y equal to minus 4x square. Such kind of equations we are going to get. Okay, now here we have to know basic terms which is most important. Okay, so this theta is called angle of projection. Angle of projection. What is u? U is initial speed, or basically accurate word is velocity. Initial velocity. Next, it is going to attain distance which is projection on the ground. This is called point of projection, POP. And where it is going to land after this, it is called point of landing. So on horizontal ground, distance between point of projection and point of landing is called, let us take R symbol, and this is called range. Range. Next, from horizontal ground, if you take the peak part, the highest part, this is called H max. Okay, so we call this as maximum height from ground. Alright. Now, if you project from here and it is landing here, so some time will be spent between projection and landing. This time is called time of flight. Time of flight. Alright, time of flight. Next important part of this is you have projected this object with speed u, which you call velocity, initial velocity. But as this projectile moves, this velocity keep on changing. So we have to calculate v, and v in general is called velocity or final velocity. Velocity. Now, if you take any point here, in 1D motion we have learned that velocity is tangential to its direction of movement. Let us take this is velocity. So this velocity will have its components in x and y. It will make some angle alpha. So alpha is angle between, okay, or just be correct, direction of velocity. Direction of velocity. Now, this is given to you, this is given to you, and rest of the things you are going to calculate. Most of the questions will be revolving around these topics only. So, we are going to learn now how to solve question based on this. My class will be with numerical approach. I am not focusing on theory much because these theories are available in books from where you can learn. And I don't want to make video lengthy because I do not have time to watch such lengthy videos. So on request of a student, most of the topics what I am going to cover will be concept oriented. So you can understand, this will help you to solve problems. So now we move to how to solve the questions based on this topic. Okay. Alright guys, now we are going to focus on how to solve problems. So let me take here. This is the projection, initial velocity u, and this is theta. This is your x direction, this is your y direction. Okay. So the whole concept here is the moment of particle is in two dimensions. Why we call this two dimension? Because if you see here, particle is moving on this path, and this path it will have some coordinate on x as well as it will have some coordinate on y. So you can see that the moment is in x direction as well as moment is on y direction. So when moment is in x direction and moment is on y direction, can we say that particle is moving in two different directions? Yes. If particle is moving in two different directions, then the motion will be called as 2D. So here what we are going to do is, we are going to split this movement because we do not have any such formula to solve in two different directions. Yes or no? So we are going to convert in single direction and let us see what will happen. So movement is in two different directions. We are going to convert it the same movement with help of vector on x-axis and y-axis. So the same graph get converted here now. If you take the projection on x-axis, then we are going to get here ux, which is going to be initial velocity projection. I am talking on x-axis. So this is going to be u cos theta. The same projection when you take on y-axis, this is called uy and this is u sin theta. You know very well, adjacent one is cos and opposite one is sin. Okay. Now you can see that this movement is gone and instead the particle is moving in x direction and particle is moving on y direction. We are taking help of vector where we have concept of a vector can be resolved into linear factors. Yes or no? Which is on x axis and y axis. Okay. Now ux is u cos theta, uy is u sin theta. After this, if you remember this three equation, v equal to u plus at, s equal to ut plus half at square, and then v square minus q square equal to 2as. Okay, these three formulas are equal. You can see here in this we need acceleration part also. So let us take here ay and this is ax and ay. Now I will ask you a simple question. When you throw any object, you stand on the ground, you throw any object, when the object is thrown away from you or it is released from the hand, what happened? This is completely under influence of gravity. Only one force will act, which is major force, is gravitational force. Minor force if you take, that is air resistance, drag, whatever you say, that is negligible. We are not going to consider that. Okay. So major force is only gravitational, and we know that gravitational force always acts downward. Yes or no? Or toward the center of the earth. So we can take here that in horizontal direction there won't be any acceleration. We can put it 0. In ay we have gravitational which is minus g. Why minus? Because upside direction I am taking positive, so downside will be negative for me. That is the reason I am taking this one. Now this motion is converted into two different directions. Let us say this is x and this is y. Now I am going to deal this motion in two different directions, x direction and y direction. All my calculations will be individual, which is x direction and y direction. Now in the last, when I need any result, what I have to do? X direction and y direction components you are going to add with the help of vectors. That I will keep it ready here. If two vectors are there, let us take this is a vector a and b. When they make angle 90 degree, how you add this resultant? How you get resultant? Which is magnitude of resultant is given as a square plus b square plus 2ab cos 90. And cos 90 is going to be 0. So this is nothing but a square plus b square. Well, so this is the way we are going to combine in the result, which is x direction and y direction. Okay. Now let me classify the terms which I have to calculate. First of all, you can calculate h max. Then second one, you can calculate time of flight. Then third one, you can calculate range. Okay. Then fourth one, you can calculate general velocity. Time of flight is actually divided into two parts. What is this? TA and TD. This is called time of ascending and time of descending. Time of ascending and time of descending. I'll explain you what is meaning of this. Now, come back to this diagram and see here. When you are observing this motion in two different directions, x direction and y direction, what will happen? It seems that particle is moving in x direction also and particle is moving in y direction also. Let us observe here. Is there any acceleration of x direction? No. Direction, x direction acceleration is 0. Yes or no? And we know very well, when acceleration is 0, particle move with a constant velocity. Yes or no? So in x direction, particle is going to move with constant velocity. There won't be any change in velocity in x direction. Clear? Now if we take y direction, The problem is particle is going up, but acceleration part is downward. Why? Because it is minus g. So when particle is going up, it will go up and speed will be keep on decreasing. So a time will come where velocity will become 0 and after that velocity will change the direction. Okay. Earlier velocity was upside, but once it reached to highest point, why we call here highest point? Because further above it cannot go. Why? Because vertical velocity has become 0. When vertical velocity has become 0, it has to descend now. Yes or no? So what happened? From here, whatever time it took to go up, this let's say the maximum. So this time of going up is only called time of ascending. Clear? So time taken from here to go to the maximum height is called time of ascending. Then what is time of descending? From maximum height, when its velocity becomes 0, here velocity will change the direction. And when it is changing the direction, it will start coming down. Yes or no? Then what happened? Again velocity will be increasing in downward direction. And again it will come and strike the ground. And whatever time it is spent while coming down is called time of descending. Clear? Actually, time of ascending will be equal to time of descending in this case, and that is equal to half of time of flight. Okay, so if you calculate time of flight, this is going to be 2 times time of ascending, or that is also 2 times time of descending. We can prove also why time of ascending and time of descending is equal. Okay, so let's come to this part. Now, let us go to this H max. I'm going to classify these parameters which we have to calculate here, like which one we have to calculate first. Okay. Alright. So let us start one by one. We are going to take H max. Now, what is the meaning of H max? See, from here, when particle was going up and it stopped somewhere, again it is returning back. So from ground, this height is called H max. Alright. Now this H max, you can analyze that it is in vertical direction. Yes or no? So we are going to use here vertical motion of the particle to calculate H max. So let us see how to calculate this H max. You can copy this like here. Now this is your H max. It is given y direction. So we are going to use this H max is nothing but displacement only. Yes. So Sy equal to uy t minus half or plus half ay t square. Okay. You can use this also, but the problem is in this we need time. Better than that is use this one. Vy square minus uy square equal to 2ay into sy. This will be quite easy. Now listen, in y direction, when particle reaches to this point, which is actually called H max, what is velocity in y direction? What is velocity in y direction? Final velocity. This is actually 0 when it reaches to H max. So we'll assume this to be 0. Then minus uy. Uy, if you remember, we had uy equal to u sin theta and ux was u cos theta. Let us substitute here. So minus u sin theta square equal to 2 into ay is minus g and sy is h max. Okay, ay, why I am taking minus g? Already I have told you that this side y direction velocity is downward, which is minus g. H max. H max is displacement in this direction. Okay, whatever it has covered the distance, we are going to take as a displacement. Let us cancel this, and from here we will get H max equal to u square sin square theta divided by 2g. This is your first part of that. Here, sometime in exam they are playing. How they are playing that? Little bit changes we can do there. What changes? If you write this properly, it is nothing but u sin theta square by 2g. Now what is our u sin theta? This is called initial velocity y component. We can represent in that format and we can write here u by square divided by 2g. But I suggest you in projectile, don't remember too many formulas. Develop your concept in a very simple way, and whatever questions come, you try to apply in a broken format, because the questions are not coming directly, they are coming from intermediate steps of derivation. Unless you are very comfortable with this derivation, it will be difficult for you. So don't just mere mug up the formula, that is not going to help. Clear? So this is the way we have calculated H max. Next, we can go to time of flight. Okay, so let us see how to calculate. Okay, let us see how to calculate your time of flight. Okay, so we had here ux as u cos theta and uy as u sin theta. Okay, ax is 0 and ay is minus g. Here is, let us take this is the maximum x. So how to calculate a time by ascending? So I will take here v equal to u now. So uy plus ay into t. Okay. Now when it reaches to final spot, here velocity is 0. Already I have told you when it reaches to maximum height, velocity becomes 0. So this part you can take 0. Uy is u sin theta, and this is going to be minus g into t. I'll put as time by second. If you take it other side, so minus u sin theta equal to minus g ta, you can cancel this, right? So u sin theta divided by g is going to be time of ascending. Clear? Now I have to calculate time of descending, and I will prove that time of descending is actually this value only. Alright, how? Let us see. Here if you see, this value is how much? At this place if you take uy is 0. Okay, and from here I will take that this is displacement, which is nothing but h max. So if I use the formula sy equal to uy t plus half ay t square. If you divide this motion from here to here, don't get confused. I am just dealing from here. Let us take that this is A, this is B, and again this part will be B, and this is C. So I am talking about B to C. B to C. In B to C, initial velocity at this point will be 0. Sy if you talk, since it is in downward direction, I will take downward direction as negative. So it is going to be minus h max equal to half minus g into td square. Time of descending square. Now h max already we have calculated. If you remember, h max was u square sin square theta by 2g. Let us substitute this part. Okay. So we are going to get u square sin square theta by 2g. Let us put negative equal to minus half g td square. Cancel whichever is possible. So half and half gone. 2 and 2 gone. So time of descending square, if you bring here g, td square will be u square sin square theta by g square. Let us take root. So time of descending is going to be u sin theta by g. Yes or no? So how much you got time ascending? U sin theta by g. Time of descending is also coming u sin theta by g. So we have proved that both are actually equal quantity. Okay. Now if we talk about time of flight, which is Ta plus Td, time of ascending plus time of descending. So can I say that both are equal? So it will become 2 time of ascending, which is 2 into u sin theta divided by g. So this is next very important formula, which is 2 u sin theta by g. If I write in a proper way, this also comes to uy by g. Okay. So if uy is given directly, use this one. Clear? So this is the next important formula which you have to fix in your mind, 2u sin theta by g. So we completed time of flight, we completed h max. Next we are going to do range. Okay. Okay, let's move to the next topic and let us derive for range. Okay. In range, if you compare with the first diagram, this was your point of projection and this was point of landing. So horizontal distance between both is only called range. Alright. So can I say range is the distance on x-axis? So I have to talk about x-axis, and it is again distance or displacement, whatever I say. So Sx equal to uxt plus half gx or axt square. Now see here, a particle starts from here, land here, then only it is going to cover horizontal distance of range. Okay, can I say that the time spent from here to here is nothing but time of flight only? Correct. So initial velocity Sx we are going to write as range r. Ux, horizontal speed, ux is nothing but u cos theta, correct? Yes. So let us put here u cos theta, where time is time of flight, it's nothing but 2u sin theta divided by g plus, already we know that ax is 0. I have explained to you there is no acceleration and extraction. So this quantity is going to be 0. So let us put 0. So r is nothing but, if you multiply u square 2 sin theta cos theta by g, and if you are champion in maths, this part is what? 2 sin theta cos theta is nothing but sin 2 theta. Yes, so we can write here this is u square sin 2 theta divided by g. Okay, super. Now we can also write this range formula as it is 2 times u sin theta into u cos theta by g, which is nothing but 2 ux into uy by g. In this format also we can write. Okay, now this is the main formula which you have to remember. So next part will be r max. We want to get maximum range. Let us see here, range formula is u square sin 2 theta by g. U can you change? No, because it is depending on the setup which you have developed. So you are not going to change every time. G is automatically fixed because of earth. What I can do is you can change the value of theta. How you can change the value of theta? So u is, suppose this is the projector, so here it is depending on physical things, so this is not going to be changed, but we can change different angle here, which is theta, or you call this as angle of projection. Mostly this part is used in defense. Okay, they fix the target, they make some angle, and from there they will try to land. So sometimes we have to get maximum range. So how we are going to get maximum range? U and G will be fixed. So U square by G, and sin 2 theta we have to get maximum. So sin maximum function is what? Sin 2 theta maximum value, if I have to calculate, this answer will be 1, because sin range is -1 to 1. In that case we can write sin 2 theta equal to sin of 90 degree. So 2 theta is going to be 90, theta is 45 degree. It meaning is at theta 45 degree, R is maximum, which is U square by G. Alright, this is even used in sports. If you are an athlete, you know very well in discus throw, what happened, or javelin also, your PT master will tell that put your hand or javelin throw at 45 degree. Because when you put it at 45 degree, then only you are going to receive your maximum range. Okay, so you can try this to achieve range maximum. Alright, okay, copy. Next, so we completed here H max, we completed TOF, we completed range. These three things are over. What is left? You can check from the beginning. Okay. So general velocity V. So how we have to calculate this general velocity? Before I go to general velocity, one more term is there, that is called equation of trajectory. Equation of trajectory. What is meaning of trajectory? If you watch news and they talk about, like, you know, when ISRO is launching some satellite, PSLV, GSLV, the most challenging part is trajectory. Trajectory meaning is nothing but path. So we have to decide here. You can see that if you have launched this projectile, then this path equation I want. Equation. Any equation in 9th, 10th, 11th you are learning. equation meaning is relation between x and y. We get a point like this x and y. We combine all these points, we land up to equation. Same thing we are going to do here. We are going to write first equation for x. X was general range, which is u cos theta multiplied by time. At a particular time we are talking, not like time of flight. Then y value was u sin theta t minus half gt square. Alright. Now what we are going to do? Equation of trajectory meaning is equation in x and y. Equation in x and y. So you have to eliminate time here. So if you eliminate time, let us write here t equal to x by u cos theta. So if you substitute here, you get y equal to u sin theta into x by u cos theta minus half g x square. I am substituting a t value, which is u square cos square theta. Now you can see whatever is possible to cancel out. Okay, so y equal to x sin theta by cos theta is tan theta minus, if you see here it is coming up half g x square, okay, then u square cos square theta. This is equation of trajectory. But if you want to make this equation little more comfortable with you, so what we can do, I'll do here, y is actually coming x tan theta minus half g x square u square cos square theta. What we do here is, let us develop some range part here. What is range formula? R is 2, okay, u square sin square theta, sin theta into cos theta divided by g. Alright, so we can see here g part, if I take down, this is going to be y x tan theta minus, okay, x square is null, keep it there, 2. Can you write this as u square cos theta into cos theta, let me write here, and sin theta. Let me write here sin theta. Actually cos square is split it cos into cos, and sin theta I have multiplied and divided. Now one more thing is left here, that is g, which will come down. Actually it was up, so I brought it down here. Okay. Now if you compare x square is there, yes, g which was up I have taken here down, 2 is 2, u square cos splitted sin adjusted here. Now if you see this down part, 2 u square sin theta cos theta, okay, sin theta cos theta here, 1 cos theta, take it together. So if you see here 2 u square cos theta sin theta by g, this together we can write as a range. So this is going to be y equal to x tan theta minus x square tan theta divided by range. This entire masala is converted into range. Now this has become very simple for you. How? If you take x tan theta outside, what is left here? 1 minus x by r. Excellent equation. Why this equation is very interesting? The reason is you do not need initial speed. You do not need any other things like, and calculation as well. So directly your answer is coming between theta and this. Okay, this will be more useful when you are knowing the range. Alright, so good, you can copy this. Next part we are going to learn is general velocity. Okay, the last part, velocity in general. Velocity. So if I draw this projectile path again, I'll explain you how this velocity changes. This was initial velocity u, this was theta. But you can see that at different point, this velocity will keep on changing. Yes or no? Here if you see downward, here this side and this side. So any place velocity is always tangential to the path. Okay. So what we are going to do? Let us calculate velocity at this path in general. So here final velocity will have x components and final velocity will have y components also. So initial velocity x component was u cos theta and ax was 0. Here uy was u sin theta and ay was minus g. So can we say that Vx is going to be ux plus ax into t? Let us write in simple. Then Vy will be similarly uy plus ay into t. Now, if you write this equation, acceleration in x direction is 0. So can I make it 0? So from here we got Vx is equal to ux. Ux is how much? U cos theta. So can we say that in horizontal direction, velocity remain constant? Clear? So velocity is not going to change in x direction, it is absolutely constant. What happened to y direction? Let us see that. Okay. So Vy is uy, how much? U sin theta, ay minus g in t. Now this is the velocity in y direction. Alright. Now we got here Vx and Vy. So net velocity will be square root of Vx square plus Vy square, which is nothing but Vx is u cos theta square plus u sin theta minus gt the whole square. Substitute in number form, you will get easy answer. Clear? So this is general velocity. One very important questions they are asking, and that part is what will happen at highest point? At highest point. If they ask you at highest point, so we know that at highest point velocity in y direction is 0, because if this velocity is 0, then only object will reach to the highest point. Otherwise, it will be keep on moving up. Yes or no? At highest point, velocity becomes 0 and it changes the direction. Okay, it was going up, it will become 0 and then it will start returning. So remember, Vy is 0. Then what is your Vx? This is already I explained you that Vx always remains same. It does not change. This is u cos theta. So if you calculate net velocity, which is Vx square plus Vy square, this is 0, so this is nothing but Vx, okay, which is u cos theta. Very important, at highest point the net velocity is equal to x direction of velocity, which is u cos theta. See here, most of you are doing mistake. Whenever I ask what is velocity at highest point, what is your common answer? It is 0. No, at highest point velocity is not 0. I don't know why, only wrong concept strike to your mind, right concept you keep it aside. Okay, so think at highest point your velocity in y direction is 0. Okay, x direction velocity always will be there, that is not going to change. Alright, so when I talk about velocity, I mean net velocity. It's neither x nor y, so that is combination of x plus y. So y you put 0, automatically you get the answer x. So this is your net velocity. Okay, so this is applicable only for highest or at highest point. In general, this is your velocity. Clear? Okay, copy.